Gary, you have a service called Gary's Gulf Divers, and that's exciting here in Orange Beach because it's really a unique form of, I guess you could call it, entertainment. Let's talk about your company.
Well, I'm a full-fledged, full-service dive charter business, cater anywhere from beginner divers all the way through technical, deep diving. We do a lot of spearfishing and sightseeing, photography, video.
Do you have to be an experienced diver to go on one of your trips?
Yes, typically you do. Rarely we will offer a thing called Discover Scuba, and they'll get to go to a pool for a couple hours and then go out and do a short dive on one of our shallow reefs.
Tell me about some of the dives that you've gone on.
Well, I'm also in with the Alabama Reef and Restoration Foundation, so I sort of get to help out putting reefs down for dive sites and fishing sites and etc. But the Lulu is a great dive. We sunk it about 2 years ago, Memorial Day, and it is getting a lot of attention from all the major dive magazines across the country. Big thing today is trying to get everybody to do local diving that they can drive to instead of leaving the country to dive. So, within 400 or 500 miles, easy day's drive, we offer some world-class diving here. It's wreck diving, reefs made out of concrete and various shapes like pyramids, and we also have Army tanks. We have quite a few tugboat wrecks, and we have just built a reef, and it's going to be an ongoing project called Poseidon's Playground. Poseidon's Playground, it's made up of concrete statues, Poseidon being one of them, the Greek mythology theme. We have Poseidon, Venus, several other ones, and also we put down a 6-foot cross. And like I said, it's going to be an ongoing project, and you can look at my videos on that on my website, gulfdiver.net.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk, for those people that really don't know what the reef, what's happening with these reefs that are being done. Tell us a little bit about it. What good is it?
Well, the Gulf of Mexico is basically a barren bottom in this area. If you don't have any structure down there, all you're going to have is sand, and that does not draw the reef fish such as red snapper, all the snapper species, triggerfish, and plus all the tropical.
So
fish.
these reefs then are going to attract the fish.
Right. Alabama has the largest reef system in the country. We have 50 square miles of reef permitted area that we're allowed to build reefs in, and we literally have thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands of small sites, but you really can't take a group of divers on a little small pyramid, so we're starting to either group those together as a bigger spot and draws tremendous amount of fish, or starting to sink ships. Another recent ship that we've just sunk is a 120-foot long concrete boat that was built in the 40s and built out of concrete, believe it or not, and it's called the Captain Shirley Brown, named after the owners that gave it to us to reef as artificial reef, and it was rumors have it was a gambling boat, and
a concrete boat
is made out of concrete. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Does that make a better reef than anything else, or don't the fish really care about that?
Different things draw different types of fish. We found where steel will draw a different type of fish sometimes than concrete, but concrete, being that it's porous and little tiny microscopic stuff can get in them pores, it seems to do better than pretty much anything. Another thing, just while we're on that subject, they when they build some of these reefs, they put the real porous limestone on them, big rocks of limestone, and it's really porous and with fine holes all in it, and it really, within a couple of months, you got a real good ecosystem.
Do we have a lot of wrecks under the sea?
Oh yes,
in this area.
Yes, we have 5 Liberty ships that's been down since the 70s as artificial reefs. We have to the west. We have a lot of oil rigs and gas rigs that we'll go to from time to time, and they're just starting to decommission some of those. So they're cutting them off at about 50 foot under the water, and then laying the top part beside it, making a great reef. The fish are already there from the oil rig being there, so it makes a good reef.
How long does it take for those fish to realize that there's something there? Is it pretty quick?
Yeah, the Lulu, we had red snapper circling around it that same day, believe it or not. Yeah.
Now, when you go out with divers, do you take a number of divers out with you?
I take 6 on my boat as maximum I can carry. It'd be myself as a captain, 6 divers, and 1 crew.
Now, you evidently set up the trips based upon what the divers would like to do?
Yes, I'll have a schedule, calendar of events that people can sign up for based on their skill levels. Some of them be shallower trips for the newer divers or the younger divers, or just somebody that don't want to dive deep. And then we have the deeper stuff. The maximum we'll take people on recreational dives is about 100 foot. And then if they have their deep certification, they can go up to 130. And then technical diving is sort of sky's the limit.
How deep have you gone?
I'm a technical diver myself, so I've went about 180, 190.
Is it dark at that level?
Not
yet.
All the time. Sometime it is. I mean, it's based on the sunlight you have and the particles in the water.
Right.
One other ship I forgot to mention that's a major attraction in this area is we have an aircraft carrier. It's off of Pensacola, but being that we're right here at the line, Florida-Alabama line, it's not any further for us than it is for the Pensacola boats. But it's called the Oriskany.
And that's an aircraft carrier sunk in the Gulf.
Yes, it's 212 foot deep to the bottom, but it structure starts about 80 foot.
So you don't have to go down too far before you hit it.
Right, and it's right on the edge of the continental shelf, deep area out there. So we have gotten whale sharks, mola fish, a lot of pelagics, swim by that area.
Let's talk about your boat. How big is it?
I have a 30-foot Hydrocat. It's a cat hull, so it's more stable than the regular V-hull boats.
I see. Now, the cat hull, is that like a catamaran hull?
Yes, it's just two separate hulls. Well, not separate, but 2 hulls instead of just having a V-hull. You have 2, sort of like 2 V's hooked together.
That certainly would make it stable.
It's
more stable
yes.
than, yeah.
And I have a marine toilet on board, fresh water, plenty of cooler space for drinks and stuff. And normally I'll provide snacks, fruit, water, and stuff on the trips. Some of my longer trips we'll cook lunch on the water.
As far as your trips are concerned, what is the shortest? What's the longest?
Normally 4 to 6 hours. 4 hours being about the shortest. We really try not to base it on time, for selling a trip, because we have a inshore inshore trip, which is less than 10 miles, covers various sites. Midshore, which is up to about 20 or less, and then the offshore trip is more than 20. So if you're doing an offshore trip and the seas are really good and flat and you can get on back in within 5 hours, most people would rather, take their time on the dive site, but come on back in on a faster boat is what like we have, than. Do
you like to go out early morning versus mid-afternoon?
We do mainly mornings, and sometime we'll do a second trip of the day in closer on the afternoon. But typically, the less wind is usually in the morning time.
Gary, if people want more information about your service, how can they get that?
My website is gulfdiver.net or garysgulfdiver.com, garysgulfdivers.com. The easiest one is gulfdiver.net, and my Facebook page is linked to that. Seems to me like Facebook is a lot more interactive nowadays. Also I have a Twitter account, but mainly use Facebook.
And there's a lot of ongoing information and comments in the Facebook.
Yes, Facebook's usually, we use it as our news page and our dive reports, what's going on and, around the area besides diving. We have some other great things to do.
Gary, thank you very much for talking with us today here in Orange Beach.
Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate y'all thinking about me.